Hello and welcome to the virtual vocal gym. So I'm excited. We're going to do kind of a new breath exercise in lieu of a meditation today. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to doing some singing after I do this vocal gym. So hopefully you've got a song or two in mind that you can enjoy singing after we warm up here. So today we're going to start with some stretching. So you can do your favorite stretches. You can come down the ground, one leg kind of out to the side, and stretching. So let's also take this time as an opportunity to get in touch with our breath. So we're going to exhale. Exhale first. We're going to inhale. Embrace Buddha belly. And then let it out as you stretch. And again, release it open. And exhale, stretch. Inhale, open. And exhale, stretch. Alrighty, up and over. Breathing and stretching. All right, I'm going to swap sides. I like how this kind of gets the calves and the thighs and the glutes and the back all together. Breathing and stretching. Just luxuriate in the stretch. Up and over, using that breath. All righty. And let's come up for some breath squats. We'll really get that breath moving, get that blood flowing. So for breath squats, we've got our feet more than hip width apart. As we squat, we'll inhale. You want to make sure your knees don't go past your toes. Just kind of practice that movement. Feel your bum stick out a little bit. Good body alignment. All right, so we'll inhale as we squat and exhale the way up. You can go down as low as is comfortable. You can just make a little breath bop out of it. So burp. You can also just do the arms while seated, just to really get into the body. The idea of an inhalation is the body expanding down and out. An exhalation is the body contracting in, up, out. All right, here we go. Exhale. And 10 breath squats. 5, 9, and 10. All right, hydrate. And checking in with little shoulders. Nice big shoulder rolls, making big circles. Steady. Stretching, trying to make those circles bigger every time. And some neck rolls, gentle neck rolls. Not too far back. Breathing through that stretch. Alrighty. Some shoulders up. 10 more breath squats. Here we go. Feet, exhale first, and squatting. 5, and 10. Those are all the breath squats we'll do today. So just let your breath slowly return to a natural pace. Don't try and slow it down. Just allow that breath to keep moving. I'll start describing this new breath exercise we're going to do. It's a little tricky. It usually takes students a little time to really start to get it. And that's in in-person lessons. And this is you watching a video of someone trying to talk about it. So I can't even gear this directly towards you. Unless you go to jedrosa.com and sign up for a private voice lesson. All right, so we'll exhale as we always do. Keeping that ribcage up. Squeezing everything in. And then when we release it, right, that ka-thunk, now we're going to add some resistance to that. So we're going to slow that process down, right? I'm not going to try and move things slower. I'm simply going to add a little resistance so that as I let go, as I just embrace that ka-thunk, the ka-thunk is elongated. It's stretched out over time. So this is a great way to really kind of get in touch with your body, get in touch with that breath, strengthening some muscles, and really making sure you can get out of the way of your breath. This is a great way to support your breath so that it can support you. Just get out of the way. So to create resistance, there's a few ways you can go about that. So you might want to kind of cycle through them and see what's best for you. The easiest for me, I just gently bite my lower lip. Like so. So this is as we inhale. You could also use a couple fingers, 3 fingers, little tiny fish roots. So the idea is after we've exhaled, we close something so that we have that resistance, and then we let go. So it's still like a thumb, but it's going to take me like 15, 20 seconds to fully fill up with air. Right? So watch out. The big thing to watch out for here is that you don't go, right? It's not like sucking through a straw. So I'm not trying to narrow the space and suck air in. I'm simply narrowing the space and just releasing my body and let the diaphragm do the work. The diaphragm has to work a little harder now, so there's that very narrow space. So make sure you're not trying to suck air in. You're simply creating a narrow space here. That's what if you got a lot of gaps in your teeth or something, that may not work for you. So maybe breathing through the gap between your fingers might work better. All right, so let's try that again. Whew. Exhale. Do whatever you're doing for that resistance, and then release. Just keep going, keep noticing. Your body is naturally expanding, right? You don't have to expand it. Your body expands naturally. Right? You're probably done about now, but just keep going until you are naturally full. So what I feel is there's that initial ka-thunk, then it slowed down. There's just kind of this gentle tugging. And I kind of feel space opening up between my ribs. I feel the air rising. Eventually, I feel it coming all the way up into just underneath my collarbone. Right? So I'm not trying to expand anything. I'm simply trying to get out of the way and let physics and anatomy interact, do their thing, and fill up my body with air. So let's try that again. Exhale it out. Resistance and release. Keep it going. I'm loose here. I'm not shoving or pushing or pulling or pinching or squeezing or anything. This is loose. So something you can do while doing this slow down inhalation, just kind of put your tummy there. Is it loose? Is it squishy? Right? Even if you've got strong abs, well, I guess if you're really, maybe they're always hard. I don't know how that works. I don't have a six-pack, so I don't know these things. But hopefully you can release them so there's a bit of a squish there, so you know you're not pushing or pulling. The other thing, oh yes, so let's go back to without resistance so we can kind of compare what's going on here. So we'll take the resistance out of it and just do our normal breath open. And let's just kind of feel your whole abdomen area. Just notice what you feel. So we're going to exhale first and release it. Just kind of expand. And again, exhale and release. Good, now we'll add the resistance. Or again, we're just going for that same feeling of letting it go, but it's going to take longer. And make sure that nothing's pushing or pulling or squeezing in your abdomen. The diaphragm's working, but the abs don't need to. All right, so we'll exhale it out. Resistance, and let it go. Should just that keep going. There's that initial release, that ka-thunk, and then it's just kind of hanging there, slowly expanding. Slowly rising and filling up. If you're filling up too quickly, you might need to narrow the space. Make sure you don't tense your throat at the same time. You might also need to plug your nose. Because sometimes people kind of do both or do, and then you're full, just like that. I guess in theory, if your nose was a little clogged, you could just do this through your nose. I'm not clogged, so the air just rushes right on in. But you could like sort of gently pinch your nose to feel the air. Just that would probably tend to make your ears pop or something, and that's not particularly pleasant. So those are things you can try. If you're filling up in like 5 seconds or less, probably taking in too much air too quickly. So try to make sure it's only coming through your little space here. All right, so let's move on from that. So that's our fun new breath exercise. It takes a while for people to feel it. You'll know when you get it. It's like, oh yeah, I totally feel that the thump, and I'm not forcing anything to happen. I'm being breathed. I'm not breathing. Subtle, powerful distinction. All right, so now to that voice. So we'll exhale, we'll do all sides. We'll do our sides. So we'll start down low on ah, round it to, start on ah, what can I say? Start down low on ah, round it to o, whoop, and down and back down to ah. So we exhale, release it, oh, just trying to keep it smooth and flowing and relaxed. And I love adding movement to it to keep my body, therefore my voice, free. Don't listen to it so much. Feel it. Just notice what you feel. Notice the sensations. Don't try to make anything happen. Exhale. Release it open. And again. Right, need a little water, hydration. Step one, breathe, step two, hydrate. All right, so now I want to kind of keep wiggling things here. So we'll keep doing this side. We're going to wiggle the tongue in the middle of it. So you can kind of go up and down. You can go side to side and come up with your own thing to do with that. You just kind of want the tongue separate from the voice, separate from pitch, separate from phonation. Right, so phonation and pitch is mostly caused by what's happening in here. The tongue is mostly used for vowels and consonants, right? For changing that phonation, that sound, that core sound, in changing the tone in subtle ways so we get different vowels. And then we interpret that as lyrics, which we assign meaning to. All right, so loosening that tongue and separating it from the process of making sound. Makes singing so much easier. All right, we try side to side now. I think I like it down better. All right, now let's get the lips involved. So same idea, just up and down with just embrace that buzz of the M. Don't fight it. Don't be worried about it being nasal. Right? Most people, almost everyone, is going to feel a vibration on It may be different in different parts of your range, but almost everyone feels that. Don't worry if you don't. That doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just means you're structured a little differently. And you probably feel the vibration somewhere else. Right, so I'm just embracing the buzz, not worrying about it being nasal. Just let it buzz away and flowing. And again. All right. So now let's use the tongue and the lips to make vowel sounds. And a consonant N. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. So try and just say that like as naturally as you can from your throat, but as mechanically as you can from your mouth. Right? I'm sure to ha ha ha, like only you're just laughing, you're just speaking. But form your lips and tongue into very defined positions, not tight or rigid, but clearly defined positions to make those vowel sounds. So ni, first of course the tip of the tongue for each of those ends, flipping up and down. But the rest of the tongue, the middle and the back, come up and forward, E. Sometimes kind of more to the back, up and back, depending on your throat structure and the pitch. The pitch can make a big difference in what I feel like my tongue wants to do, and that it feels healthy and efficient for my voice, depending on the pitch. So you can kind of play with that a bit too. Excuse me, but basically tongue is up for a ni. It's a little lower for a ne. You're going to go ne, not nay, which is ne. Relax it more for no, and then the lips, no, and even more, nu. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. So practice that. Free, loosey-goosey throat. So I like the gentle laryngeal massage as I practice this. I'm working my mouth. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. Just whatever random comfortable pitch. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. You're just speaking it, but connected. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. All right, now let's add some pitch. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. The throat is just this nice open column with something coming together, engaging and buzzing from that airflow, as the lips and tongue are doing all the work for making these vowels and consonants. Here we go. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. The jaw does not need help, so make sure that jaw is relaxed. Bum, bum. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. Bum, bum. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. I like making sure that the root of my tongue isn't getting too tight. Mi, me, na, no, nu, bottom. Mi, ne, na, no, nu, bottom. Mi, ne, na, no, nu. The higher we get, the more I like the idea of the air taking over. Ni, ne, na, no, nu, bum, bum. A little dry tickle. Ni, ne, na, no, nu, bum, bum. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. But I love like dropping the head down. It changes the position of things, and then encourages me to still produce sound without getting tight. Try tickle. All right, so where was I? You know, new, air. Oh no, I lost my train of thought. Something. Anyway, carry on. But, oh yes, head drop. So dropping the head, like don't try and make it sound the way it did when your head was up. It's not going to, right? So it allows me to kind of automatically, okay, it might sound weird. That's okay, I'm not worried about that. But what do I notice? I'll really notice things tensing with my neck in this position. I will really feel something gripping or pushing. So I'm just surrendering. Here we go. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. Just focus on using lips and tongue to make those shapes. Bottom. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. Bottom. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. So a little tip here, hopefully you have some time to do a little singing, sing an actual song, not just a warm-up. Try speaking the text, or at least a portion of the text first. So we've got things pretty loosey-goosey and buzzy and flowing here and warmed up, literally warmed up. Words are warm. Oh, the vibration. So speak the text. This is great for two things. One, it helps ensure that you really have an understanding of the text. Right? Because when we're singing, we're sort of focused on like the sound and like making it flow, and we sometimes lose track of what we're actually singing about. So speaking the text think of it as a monologue. Do it just like a monologue. And in speaking the text, we also we're working on accessing our just natural speaking tone, right? Just kind of finding what it would feel like when we were just speaking it. And then singing is just an extension of that. So you can try just speaking it like a monologue. Maybe speak it with rhythm while elongating the vowels. Ave Maria. Right, it's kind of monotone, just getting the mouth to clearly go into those very clear positions. You can also sort of think it like like heightened Shakespearean acting. Ave Maria, grazia plena. It's kind of flowing and legato and very open. So it's basically singing. The only thing we're missing is pitch, perhaps feeling and musicality. But other than that, we're really getting the body to get in the positions it needs to get into. So then it can just sing. Right? So the body can sing. So that while you're singing your song, you're being sung. And you are just enjoying the emotion and the expression of it all. All right, so if you want some help integrating these ideas and more into your voice, find me at jedderosa.com. Link is in the description, of course, where you can get your first voice lesson for free. All right, we'll leave it there for today. So love yourself, love your voice, and sing with joy. Take care. Bye-bye.